So you've heard about Crozet. Where is it? What is it? Is it Charlottesville? Is it not Charlottesville? What? If Crozet is on your mind and you're trying to decide if living in Charlottesville or living in Crozet is going to be the best fit for your next move, stay tuned because I am jumping into it right now. We're going over the entire map tour. It is going to be the ultimate map tour to the point you're probably going to want to throw this on your TV, get your popcorn, and get ready to take notes. All right, let's jump right into it. Let me screen share with y'all so you can see what it is that I'm seeing. All right, so I have pulled up, I Googled Crozet, okay? Because this would be exactly what you do, right? You're like, oh, I got a new offer at the University of Virginia. Ooh, we're getting PCS to Rivanna Station. Ooh. And all of a sudden, Crozet. All right, so let's talk Crozet. First thing I'm showing you right here is I want you to see over here. So this is Charlottesville. Okay, simple enough. So if you didn't know, that's Charlottesville. Well, if you were to go west, this is Crozet. Okay, simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Two major ways you can get there. The predominant way most people use is actually going to be 64. So this is where my kindergarten teacher would be so proud of me for somewhat staying in the lines. 64, there's a major interchange right here. You dip off and you're in Crozet. Poof, there you are. Very easy, true interstate going somewhere between 55 and 70 miles per hour. 2 lanes either way. If there is a kerfuffle, then guess what? There is a secondary road that mimics, and that is going to be right here. So this is 250, and 250 parallels pretty much, and it goes, and actually it intersects with 64. So both of those roads would be the easy peasy way for you to get out to Crozet. So now you know 2 major roads, 2 major ways to get out to Crozet. Now, as you can see, I'm sure there are plenty of other little back roads depending where you're going, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. But if we're being serious, those are the 2 ways. Both roads, 64 is going to be probably the level A because it is an interstate, 2 lanes going in each direction, going 55 to 70 miles an hour. 250 is a total of 2 lanes. It is going to be a lovely drive, just going through 2 lanes, all the trees, all the prettiness. You have estates, you go through, if you're coming, you start, say, right here in the university area, you jump on, you're going to go through Ivy, you're going to go down, you're going to just go through a lot of older neighborhoods that are beautiful and stunning. Most are non-HOAs, but then you're going to get out into Crozet. So that's actually where I want us to start today. So now I've blown up Crozet. Well, not blown it up, but on my computer screen, you see that I've blown up the area so you can see it. So again, we have 64 250 interchange down here, okay? And right here, there's my little thing. And right here is where 250. So there, as you can see, multiple ways, and Crozet is actually not that big. Let's start with getting off, because see, we drove in, here's Charlottesville. So we actually jumped off 64 and we're coming in on Brownsville Turnpike. So again, this is also called 250. Do you see how, again, this name changing, depending where you are, what you're doing, the name of the road is the same thing, but it just changes. So in this area in particular is going to be, you're going to get into several vineyards. And if you were to turn left, you would actually be going up into Afton and up over the mountain, that you would actually go into Waynesboro, Stanton, into that Augusta area. But we're actually turning right and we're coming into So now we are in Crozet and we've turned here. We're coming into Crozet proper. So the first thing you're going to know, like I said, there are several vineyards over here, like over in this area. King family vineyards where there's polo on Sundays during the summer. But driving directly in, this is actually a brewery. You start really getting into the heart of Crozet. All right, so as you're coming in, the first right here is a brewery. Then right here and right here, not really right there. Right here, two different gas stations. So again, you have everything you need. But at this first major light is what I would consider the first intersection. There's only like 3 stoplights in Crozet total. But if you go to the left, you are actually going to be, the only thing it leads to is Western Albemarle High School. So that would be the feeder pattern high school for the Crozet area. Crozet is in the Western Albemarle school feeder pattern. If you were to actually turn left, you would be going into Old Trail is a major subdivision, major neighborhood, actually houses a 18-hole award-winning golf course, a restaurant, has a not city center, but a village center. There are restaurants, there's a workout facilities, there's stores, there's dental and medical care. All of that's right there. Also, on the back side right here is a senior living facility. So for example, you have moved, you're one of the sandwich generations, and God bless you if you are, because been there, done that. So let's say you move into Old Trail and your parents are like, oh, yeah, totally want to do the vineyard scene and be close to the grandkids. Awesome, cool. You know what? They don't even have to own a house, a single family, or a townhome. Maybe they are interested in a villa. So single level living without all the kerfuffle of household duties for exterior care and all of that. This is why we need to chat, because I know where all of these combination kind of things are. But if they don't want to even do that, then there is a senior living apartment complex right here that is on site for Old Trail. Well, we're going to come back to Old Trail in a minute. What I want to do is we're not going to turn. We're going to actually go straight through. And guess what? Right here, this right here, it says Church of the Holy Cross. So right there is going to be your middle and your elementary school. So truly, especially if you live someplace like Old Trail, there are crosswalks. You can walk to and cross over and go to Western. You can walk and you're on the same side of the road as the elementary and the middle school. Another huge reason to reach out. Because if you envision this kind of a lifestyle, you don't just want to pick and choose, because many of the areas are not going to be this compatible with walking to the school system. If we were to go up, look here, this is the major intersection. That right here is going to be another stoplight. So now we're up to 2. If you go to the right, in the direction we were coming. If you go to the right, I'm going to clear this off because this is all irritating the bejeebers out of me. If we were to go down this way, there are lots of homes, very nice homes, very of good variety of older Crozet and brand new construction $1 million homes. It's also going to be the access point to Miller School, which is a private school. It is for high school age. It is co-ed. They actually offer boarding or day school. So it has a phenomenal riding, competitive bike program, and a competitive baseball program. So if you're looking for these kind of things, then that might be a really easy, quick access. So right here is where we were. If we were to continue down, this is 2 different shopping areas. On the right-hand side is going to be your predominant grocery shopping. Harris Teeter. There is also a home center called Cardinal Home Center. Think of it as paints, blinds, home repair, not so much home goods like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, but it's independently owned and it is right about here. There's also a bank. There are banks here, medical services, great Thai food right there. So all of that is right in this area, okay? Just across the street, you actually have a really cute little strip mall that has another bank. It has an ABC store. So what an ABC store, Virginia, the Commonwealth, is a uh, state-controlled alcoholic beverage control center. So the state actually controls and sells the higher level alcohol. You can get wine, you can get beer, you can get spritzers, you can get all of that at the grocery store, at the vineyard, at a gas station, at a drugstore. But your higher content items, your distilled items are all going to be purchased strictly at an ABC store. So, but you have one right there, is why I'm trying to point that out. So now we're going to come back right along here. So before we go back and go into downtown, here's a couple of the places I would love to point out. We've got Quarry Farms, we've got Fox Chase. Both of these are going to be major neighborhoods that are often sought after. So now you can get an idea of where they are. Proximity to shopping, thumbs up. Proximity to schools, thumbs up. Proximity to walk to downtown Crozet, no. So in saying that, let's go ahead and go back to this intersection. And this is how we would go down and into Crozet. All right, several neighborhoods over along this way. Parkview, all right, so here's where we're coming back to. Remember, this is 250, over here is 64, Old Trail, the high school, the elementary, the middle. We are going to actually go down Crozet Avenue. Now, a little ways down, but then we're going to actually, and this is a very lovely little 2-lane road, but you get into some of the very close neighborhoods that are located right off of Crozet Avenue, also known as Route 240. So those neighborhoods are going to be all along in here. The reason I point that out is close proximity to Crozet or in Crozet does not mean it is walkable. These neighborhoods right along in here, I would not call them walkable. Yes, they're walkable to your neighbor, they're walkable to down the street. They are not walkable. Please do not walk on Route 240 on Crozet Avenue. So now we have made it into Crozet. So now you're going to start getting, it's going to be up around right here is where the sidewalks and more walkable Crozet begins. Coming in, there are no neighborhoods. There's an older cemetery that's all in this area right here. Over here are some very small streets that you can find some housing, but it's not going to be a neighborhood or necessarily a subdivision. Right around in here is actually going to be an amazing veterinarian practice. They actually border on holistic. So, I have experience with them, even though, I love my veterinarian, which is 29 North. This veterinarian we actually utilize because they also do physical therapy, rehab, and some holistic practices. So we had a dog and she's injured her back, had a disc issue. And after doing the rest and stuff that our vet recommended, there were still some issues. So to help her rehab, we actually drove out and we did the physical therapy at Crozet Vet. So they did acupuncture, they did a laser treatment, and they also had the underwater treadmill. But you know what else? They also utilize the doggy the doggy weed, the doggy CBD, the doggy, and it's actually very controlled and also very expensive. But you know what? It worked. All of those services worked for our dog, and I thought all the techs, I thought the doctors, I thought all of them were absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend. So if you're living out here in Crozet, do know that you have amazing animal care. Now, coming in here, this is where your sidewalks start. You're going to have churches here. You're going to have churches here. Coming in, this is the main Crozet. And what you see with this yellow shading is really like what they're talking about as the square and in the different shops and things like that. It is not Charlottesville. It is a village square kind of thing. If you were to turn left and go down Jarman's Gap Road, there are multiple larger neighborhoods and smaller neighborhoods for the full variety of living conditions. You have everything from, you have townhomes, you have single family homes, you have villas, and all of that is going to be down that Jarman's Gap. You have one of the ones down there is actually going to be, down that area is actually going to be Gray Rock and Gray Rock North and such. Those are can be $1 million homes and most of those are going to have amazing mountain views. If you were to turn down here and then turn again and just follow Park Road, this is going to take you down to, again, multiple different new and established Crozet neighborhoods, but it is going to take you to Claudius Crozet Park. Claudius Crozet Park is an Albemarle County park. It has, as you can see, it actually has an aquatics and fitness center. They actually bubble it during the winter so it can be utilized year-round. Large play areas, there are trails, baseball fields, lacrosse fields, soccer fields. It's a lot. When they also do twice a year the Crozet Arts and Crafts Festival, which is a huge festival, and everybody knows when it is, and everybody plans to attend. So if you like living near, if you don't want to have the play set, you don't want to have the schlep going to practice and stuff, we should actually look at one of the areas in and around that go around the park, because there's actually, what is it? It's Parkside Village. There's several of these neighborhoods, newer neighborhoods, and these are all going to be HOA, are going to be right around and walkable into the area of Crozet Park. All right, let's clear this off. All right, so we have come back. Remember, this is how we went to Crozet Park. So we've come back, and then going in here, I've blown this up a little bit more. This is all very walkable Crozet. This is what you hear about and think about when you hear about Crozet, the square at Crozet. The actual square at Crozet is actually going to be right in this area here. That's the square. This is going to be sidewalks on both sides of the streets. There are going to be restaurants. You can see the Whistle Stop, which is a sweet little cafe, is right here. The post office. There's a senior living apartment complex right there. Then across the street, you have a coffee shop. You have a hardware store, like an old traditional hardware store. Love Crozet hardware. There's a pharmacy, Crozet Pharmacy, all is in that section. Now, right now, that section is a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, is a shit show, because they haven't fully repaved it. They're doing a major cut through refurbishment in town, and part of that is now to the point that it needs to all be repaved. But to repave, they have to actually dig up the past 100 years of crap. So it's really not an easy, convenient thing to park in right now. All the stores are open. This is the middle of 2025. So remember that when you're listening to me ramble on. But this would be your walkable Crozet area. Restaurants, ooh. And right here, I gotta show you this. Right here, this is a friggin' library, one of our newest libraries. Now, when I say new, I'm talking in less than like 15 years old. Big, beautiful, state-of-the-art, fabulous. There's also several restaurants and several other stores and everything back here. But again, so I actually just parked over here, and walk down the road so you could see all of this and see how walkable it was. There's also several neighborhoods that are, so with this, oh, and Far Downers. Oh yeah, Far Downers is a very yummy restaurant as well. I actually just had lunch there with a couple of friends, actually several friends, and we're in the process of finding them a house. They actually, their son attends Western and absolutely is thriving. No wonder his parents are so proud of him. I'm proud of him. And I've only known him for less than a year. He's thriving at Western Albemarle High School. So now we are looking for a home in the Crozet area because they don't want to leave. They had rented for a year while we found out where the best place for them was going to be. See, there you can walk very, very easily. There's Pleasant Green is back here. That's going to give you a lot of new construction townhomes and some single family homes right now. But again, so let me say this, there's a lot of new construction going on in Crozet, but please reach out to me first. You want to make sure for several reasons. One, please always remember that the sales agents, and that's what they are, the sales agents, the representatives for any builder works for the builder. That's their job, to make sure to keep the fiduciary responsibility of the builder. When you're working with me, my sole goal and sole purpose is to take care of you and to make sure you're taken care of, and I have your fiduciary responsibility on my shoulders. The best part of this is if you are thinking about new construction, most of our builders actually do pay the buyer brokerage fee. So they pay my fee, even though my sole dedication is to you. So it's really, there's nothing to lose, but everything to gain. If you go back and check some of my videos about new construction, I have seen a lot of stuff, including from the quantity and the quality builders. This is why you want somebody who is here, who is local, who has worked with these builders, who knows what to look for, who to hire, what to do. This is why it is so very, very important to reach out to me first before you start popping into open houses and new construction and sending inquiries, because some, more so the quality builders, more so the quantity builders, most of them, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, Pam, your client sent us an email 6 months ago, so you're not allowed to work with them. I know you represent them, but you're not allowed to work with them. Bye-bye, we're not talking to you. That's what I don't want to happen. It is heartbreaking when one of my clients was like, I didn't know. I was like, I know. And so again, this is why you want to reach out to me. I want to make sure you're taken care of. I've seen everything from septic issues to design issues. I remember one builder who everything was said and done, and when it started to be built, they were putting carpet and that was supposed to be hardwood, and then the builder was like, oh, well, it's not written down. And there was nothing that these folks could do. They did, because they were working directly with the quantity builder. And the quantity builder was like, well, nothing you can do. You signed our contract, and it says you're screwed and you have to finish and take this house. Don't let that be you. Okay, getting back, I'll get off my soapbox here. So as we are coming, so again, this is predominantly Crozet. This is the train overpass. If we were to turn left here, we would be going out to, so if we turn left here, we would be going out to Mint Springs Park. Mint Springs Park, another Albemarle County park, very different than Crozet Park. Mint Springs is a natural area. So you go out there, there's plenty of parking, but there are actually trails that go up the mountain. There is a beach that is lifeguarded during the summer that you can go swimming and everything. There are picnic tables. There are play structures. Mint Springs is a beautiful shade. It's a respite kind of area. Or you know what? Even in the fall, even if the beach is closed, it's a great big green space that you can just take your kids You and your significant other or you and friends can go enjoy a bottle of wine and watch the kids rumble, tumble, and play. This is in your backyard. If you were to go straight here, this is literally a four-way stop. You're going to be going out. There's many different neighborhoods, older, predominantly older. There's another elementary school. There is also Henley Orchard, which is one of my favorites. They do, they're a family-owned orchard, and they grow about, I think it's like 24 varieties of peaches, which are coming in right now. And then in the fall, they are pushing almost 50 or 54-ish varieties of apples. They do a big apple festival almost like every weekend, hay rides, petting zoo. If you're in town, look up Henley's. They're also low spray. They're not organic, they're low spray. But that was a big difference for my daughter because she could actually eat the fruit there without having issues. We later found out she had celiac, and that was one of the things setting her off. So we could only eat the fruit right there. But if you are turning right, guess what? You're back on 250, okay? So then if you turn right here, you're turning back onto 240, and that is where you can get back to 250. 240, so this is all shopping and services. Number one, pizza right here, Crozet Pizza. Love, love, love their calzones. And I always laugh, especially when y'all come into town and we go out, and by chance it happens to be around lunchtime. And if we pop in there, I have yet to find somebody who's like, oh, this place sucks. So I'm just saying, be prepared. There are lots of little stores here, little services. Actually it's right here, I think. Across is actually the original depot, and now it's an arts center and sells artisans items from the Crozet area. Lovely bakery up here. There's a car wash, and then when you get down into over in this area, there's another grocery store. It's, I think, a Great Value or an IGA. It's independent grocer kind of thing. There's some more restaurants, Sal's Pizza. There's an automotive parts place. So again, you have everything you need in Crozet. You don't have to come in. But for your big stuff, when you want to do a Costco run, when you want to do the day, or when you're going in for your specialty care at UVA, that's still less than 20 minutes away, right? When you are commuting, do recognize it's probably going to be closer to 30 to 40 minutes because everybody's commuting the same way. People are traditionally not commuting from Charlottesville to Crozet. 9 out of 10 are going to be coming into Charlottesville and at the same time. So 250 can get very bottlenecked and a lot of traffic. That's when a lot of people will just hop on 64. All right, so let me clear this. All right, so now I have shrunk, or actually I've blown out some so that you could see. So again, we were right here. We had turned on. We stopped at Crozet Pizza. We got some lunch. We went by the Crozet Market, which is that independent grocer. Look right there. There's a dental. We're driving this 3-notch road. Route 240 is a 2-lane road. It also goes down to 25 miles an hour. So if you're coming down through here, did you know? Home to Star Hill Brewery. If you're one of my beer drinkers, you probably recognize that name. Sold nationwide, actually originated in Charlottesville downtown, but they moved out here to the Crozet area. Oh gracious, it has to have been 10 years ago. So that is out there as well. Once you pass this industrial, and that's the best way to put it, area, that you get back into multiple newer or brand new neighborhoods. There are going to be neighborhoods all in this area, and there are newer neighborhoods all in these two areas. If you check out one of my last Crozet videos, I encourage you, because again, I try not to put too much information in one, because you got to have a bathroom break and you got to grab your fresh popcorn as you're watching my stuff. But there's also another veterinarian out there. I think they're still active. I know the original vet has stepped down because he sold it because this is going to be a new subdivision. Anyways, all right. Okay, so I made us blow it out a little bit further so you could see where we're coming together here. So again, here's Crozet Pizza. We took a left. We there are several different neighborhoods all through here. You can see Highlands. You can see there are multiple. And just so you know, this is all mountains. I mean, your view for the mountains goes on for days here. So in the area, here's what I want you to remember. The schools for Crozet are going to be Western feed. Very, very sought after. Do your own homework. All of our schools are phenomenal. But many people come to or in with the information of Crozet because of the schools, honestly. And many refer to them as the private public schools. Do with that information what you will. I don't say it. This is what my clients tell me. They're like, "Ooh, we want to be in Crozet because of the public-private schools." And I swear to you, yes, that has been said to me. Downtown Crozet, Mint Springs, you're going to have Crozet Park. All of those are going to be together to give you full access to what community has to offer. Neighborhoods, some of your big neighborhoods. All right, so we were talking about, let me tell you about some of the neighborhoods. So Old Trail, it's walkable to both the school systems and it's actually physically walkable to the Crozet Village, pizza, coffee, hardware store, things like that. There are sidewalks along everything. It is a very large community. It has a 18-hole golf course. It has a pool, it has trails, it has restaurants, and it has a mix of styles of homes. So again, villas, townhomes, single-family homes. And you know what? That is where one of the apartment complexes is now located as well. So even if you're coming into town, you need to rent for a little while before we find you your permanent living in Crozet area. We have options. This is why you need to reach out. Call, text, email me. Let's figure this out. Western Ridge, established, very pretty trails, and one of the few places that also communities, these are going to be HOA. All of these are HOA. Also has a pool, private pool for the Western Ridge neighborhood. Highlands. Highlands is going to be that classic Crozet suburban area. Larger lots, mountain views, and very close to the Crozet Park and the schools. So again, thinking about what your lifestyle is. There are neighborhoods such as West Hall, which are going to give you townhomes and affordable single-family, walkable to downtown Crozet, parks and playgrounds, foothill crossings. So options for newer, upscale, modern, what else? Blue Ridge views. I mean, really a lot. Crozet in general is going to give you Blue Ridge views. Chesterfield Landings, boutique style, luxury, smaller, higher end. Parkside Village, very, very active because it's right there next to Crozet Park. It is charming. Craftsmen often considered the best of Crozet because of its location and their styles. So it really is nestled and tucked. This is why you need to reach out because again, you're not going to find out about these until it's too late, and I don't want it to be too late. Grey Rock North, and new construction. Holy crumb, you've got so many options. What else with your lifestyle? Crozet is going to put you in the throes of vineyard country. Many vineyards in and around the area. King Family, Grace Estate, Stinson. You're going to have shopping. You're going to have banks. You're going to have everything you need. But for the expansive stuff, you're gonna. I mean, honestly, you're still going to be coming into Charlottesville. Not that big of a deal. Again, 15, 20 minutes, depending where you're going. When I was out in Crozet, and now I'm in my office is on the north end of 29. It took me 14 minutes. So again, 14 minutes from the heart of Crozet to where I'm sitting right now. So this is why you want to go. Because if you look on a map, if you were to look at Crozet, you'd probably be like, oh my God, it's huge. It says, is it? No, it's not. It's not. It's a depot town. Very, very charming, very, very sweet. Is it right for everybody? No, it's not. You have to see it. We have to know what your vibe is. I honestly would never consider living in Crozet. Growing up here, it's just not a place that I would consider comfortable and where I would want to live. But you know what? I just had a conversation with a new client, and for her needs and her lifestyle, and for this point in her life, I think Crozet is mwah, number one option. So this is why we need to chat. It's not about me. It is not about me, and I am the first one to say I will give you my feedback and the honest truth because I live here. I've grown up here. I am not going to run from you in the grocery store, and it's not my job to sell you anything. If you end up being like, oh, coming for a visit, say you're interviewing at the University of Virginia for a position, please reach out to me before you come for the actual visit because they're going to have a plan for you, but then I'm going to show you the real Charlottesville. You come here, you love the university, you love the job, you love all this, but then we start driving around and you're like, I want to see Ivy and I want to see Crozet, and that's all I want is, oh, and what's another one? Keswick. Those three normally get lopped together. I've had clients do those three and decide none of them are the right fit for them. So this is why we want to connect and be together and talk and chat to see if it's going to be the right fit. Okay, I have kept you long enough. I hope you've enjoyed and you've gotten something out of today's video. If you have, would really appreciate a thumbs up. It just lets me know that I'm not talking to just myself. And also it helps let other people find out the information they need. I have a ton of playlists in my channel, which is funny because my channel is overall in the scheme of things not that old, but there's plenty for you to check out. Check out some neighborhoods. We do deep dives on neighborhoods. We do deep dives on different things for Charlottesville proper. We do deep dives on small villages too, but small towns that are put around. Crozet would be a small town, but it is not a place like, say, Madison or Nelson. Those are going to be areas that are going to have a totally different vibe. And that's what we have to get for you. We have to figure out what the best fit is, because you know what? It doesn't matter if it's 200,000 or 2 million. It's still a lot of money, and I don't want you to waste your money and your time. And that's what my job is, to take care of you and make sure that we find the best next fit. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss anything, and leave a comment. What do you want me to tell you about? What do you want to see? Do you want another map tour? Do you want to see a certain neighborhood? I want to hear from you. All right, bye.